Okay, this video I want to show you something that I find quite interesting. This is a Microsoft Access database application that I created to test working with XBRL based reports using the standard business report model, SBRM. So what I want to show you is the following. So here we have basically an empty subdirectory. So these are actual things that I use to test what I'm going to show you. I'm going to keep those there. But here's the database. And this is just a temporary file. So I go to the database. I'm going to show you what I have in here. So basically I have all the information for creating that proof report. And literally any SEC filing can be created with this application. I wouldn't necessarily do it, but it can be created. So anyway, what I have everything in database tables. So here's the base information. So the namespace prefix. This is the most technical looking thing in the entire application. Namespace prefix, namespace identifier. This is the most technical piece right there. And then some other little parameters. It's not a big deal. So, but I need that information, for example, to know what file name I want to generate. So here are the terms, and notice that every term has one of these report element categories assigned. And notice how this looks like an Excel spreadsheet. I mean, nothing particularly complicated looking. Labels that go with each, including the documentation. References to the literature. Here are the structures. Balance sheet, comprehensive income. You can see all the structures there. Here's all the associations. These are the XBRL presentation, definition, and calculation relations. I put them all in one table. This is the most interesting. These are the assertions. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different assertion patterns. So this is a consistency rule. That's the most complicated thing that you see. That's the actual formula that you create. There are the concepts that map to the consistency checks. Here is an impute or a derivation rule. This is a different format, so I used a different database table. This is the pattern of this rule. You have preconditions. And again, there are the elements that go with that. And here's a roll forward. Same deal. There are the elements. There's the formula. Adjustment. This is the originally restated equals originally stated plus some adjustments. And here's all the parameters of that. Variance. Different format, so have a different table. Member aggregation. And these are I just put this in here so I could actually add any formula that I wanted. So this is just a formula that I didn't create a template for. So I can just create it in XBRL formula and then just paste it in to this. And then here are all the facts. These are the data types. Here is the XBRL type. There's the OWL type. And there's the friendly type that the user looks at and sees. There are the association types. So there are the structures. There's the association type. That's a technical name. This is a more human readable name. This is not ever used by the user. This is just lookup tables. Here are the report element categories. So the interface uses this. I have a little interface. It's not that robust, but again, you can edit anything. If you change this, the things that you have to provide change. I'm not going to mess with this. And I can show you, here's the Cartesian product of all the facts, basically. And again, notice there's nothing in here. I use this to auto-generate some batch files that do some processing per XBRL Cloud and UB Matrix's XPE XBRL processors. So that generated those batch files. This generates the actual taxonomy. This generates all those XBRL formulas. This generates a raw XBRL and an inline XBRL document. Then I press this, and the UB Matrix processor executes. Just takes a second, and it takes about 20 seconds actually. But it's doing XBRL validation, calculations validation, and XBRL formula validation. And now it's done. Do the same thing for the XBRL Cloud validation. It does limited validation. This is more XBRL validation. And I'm just going to very quickly show you something here. I'm going to extract information. This is the raw XBRL. You can see that format. And I get 36 facts. There is the inline XBRL. You can see that this is all HTML. 36 facts. And I go back to that subdirectory and look at all the files. All these were generated by that Microsoft Access application. I'm going to take all of these, put them in a zip file. I'm going to go to the XBRL Cloud service. I'm going to grab that zip file and I'm going to upload it. And there's all the files. Oops, I forgot the instance document. Yeah, I forgot the instance documents. So I'm going to add that. I will just upload those individually. Sorry about that. There's the instance document. There's the inline XBRL. Okay, so then click on that, and there's the XBRL Cloud evidence package. This is the inline XBRL. There's one issue with this. I'm not using a namespace, which is a best practice. You're not required on one thing. And the raw XBRL has no errors. So I don't know why people find it so hard to make XBRL, but this seems pretty simple to me. Anyway, more coming on this little application at another time.